Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Godsaul's Turnbuckle, the wrestling video podcast I am running over here on YouTube.com, and we are testing the waters once again and going into some other areas. We are going to also be placing this over on Daily Motion as well, kind of to just cover a few little bases from time to time. So we are going to kind of be bringing this to another little extra light. Still looking for an audio side of things to want to go with. Still never made that decision. I wanted to do that last year, but it never ended up happening. And you know, honestly, maybe I'll consider it around WrestleMania time. I don't know though if I'm going to just do an audio podcast variation to all of this to go along with everything. Also, of course, this is also a very special episode because it is a pay-per-view review. It's going to be the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania. It's WWE Fastlane, and also for that facet as well, when I'm doing this live stream, it's actually about an hour and 15 minutes away from the end of my giveaway for WWE Fastlane. We are doing this on a Monday night after I had gotten home from work and everything on that side. So I have been doing a giveaway pretty much all week for WWE Fastlane, and we were giving away a 3-month WWE Network card plus a few extra little knickknacks to go along with it on that side of everything. So that's going to end here within the next hour. The link will be in the description. If this is if you're watching this after the fact, sorry on that side. We will be doing more giveaways to come though. I actually kind of like the response that I got from this last one. I like the response that I got from the first one as well. And I'll try to keep it, I'll try to have it a lot sooner than the last one that I did, which was, it was from TLC to Fastlane. I'll try to make it a lot sooner by the next giveaway of everything on the channel. So, WWE Fastlane, it was a good show. It had a pretty god-awful build. I did enjoy the show itself. I thought it was a very good show. To the extent of the matches and kind of some of the narratives that they were telling inside the matches themselves. Kind of wish SmackDown was written more on this side of where they went with everything. We had our pre-show match, kind of not really much of not much of a match. They didn't even really advertise it days in advance like they kind of usually do for kickoff shows. And it was Ty Dillinger and Breezango going up against Mojo Rawley and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. And it was a fine match. It was fine. It was on the kickoff show. I thought it was a pretty good match on that side of everything. As the Batman is back with a vengeance. Oh, he is going nuts in the chat tonight. He is going nuts in the chat. I just brought it up and all of a sudden the chat's like popping up with everything he's saying. What's up, the Batman? But nothing much really to talk about. Ty eventually goes over in the match. I think he beats... Does he beat Chad Gable? Or I forget who he beats off the top of my head here with everything. And I don't actually have notes in front of me this time. We're kind of going on the fly with this one, everyone. We are really going on the fly with this one. But Gable and Benjamin and Mojo Rawley end out losing to I almost said Chad Gable again, even though it would be on the same team. Stumbling over the words, everyone. Oh, man. But they end out losing to Ty Dillinger and Breezango. The match was set up over a Fashion Files segment that they had earlier in the night, earlier in the day. I guess it aired on WWE Network. That's what they do with Fashion Files now. They don't just... Well, they air it on SmackDown, a little bit of it, so you can go to WWE.com to watch the whole thing or something to go along with that. So this brings us into the main card, and this is where I thought the stuff was getting pretty good. They started off the show with Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. Thought it was a good match. This was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It fell under the aspect of It fell under the aspect that, yeah, it was just a lot better than I thought it was really going to be. You know, it kind of started off a little bit slow, everything on that side, but it really picked up towards the end. It started picking up steam, and the crowd was pretty much into this match throughout the entire match. I mean, with a lot of it was dueling chants with Nakamura, Rusev Day, everything on that side. They're still, you know, persistent about having Rusev be heel, even though he's getting babyface pop reactions everywhere he's going. They are getting one thing right, you know, what they used to, or not used to do, but they still do with The Miz, where he has the microphone, his microphone flag, with the WWE symbol upside down to represent an M, to make it Miz and everything on that side. They now have a Rusev Day flag for Aiden English's mic. I like it. Seems to have gotten his voice back really quickly after losing a good portion of it from apparently a Kinshasa to the throat. But yeah, it is what it is. I actually like Aiden English's stuff. He sung it like a babyface-esque song turned it heelish. They went into the match, you know, like I said, pretty good match. Both from all sides here. I thought it was a rather enjoyable one. The sell of Rusev's super kick from Nakamura was amazing. And yeah, they just got the match over. It just really ended up being that way. They just ended up getting the match over with everybody, to the point that, you know, everyone cheered when like pretty decent sized pop when Nakamura hits the first Kinshasa to the back of Rusev's neck and head, and then nails him with the Kinshasa to the face to pick up the victory. Good match, fun just overall here. Again, not much of a build to it going into this match. I mean, a couple matches really didn't have much of a build to it going into it, but it is what it is on that side. Going into the show, that's why I'm calling this show good show, bad builds. Just like the building to Fastlane just did not click. The show itself I thought was really good. Outside of that, so this brings us into Randy Orton going up against Bobby Roode, and again, I did this during live reactions, and I'm gonna probably continually reiterate it, that, you know, it's one of those things I kind of wish Bobby Roode was heel, because he was working that very slow, methodical pace of a match. Both of them kind of always work a slower methodical pace, but you're seeing a story build throughout the entire match, like Randy Orton working over the ribs in the back of Bobby Roode, him selling it throughout the entire match. You had that one point during the match where Byron Saxton got super excited and then about a superplex and calls out Kevin Dunn to do a replay and freeze frame it, and then suddenly Byron Saxton goes mute for a little while. I wonder why. I wonder why on that one. We'll leave that to the interpretations of what people kind of think about all that stuff on that side. But overall, this was just a good match all around. Good story that they were telling in the ring with, you know, Orton working over the ribs and the back of Bobby Roode. Roode having to kind of fight through that to try to get himself back into the match. Instead of Orton doing his back bump to his backdrop to the table, or his back suplex to the table, this time he went to the barricade to give it a little bit more oomph, a little bit more damage on that side of everything. Both of them kind of going towards their finishers from time to time, and then countering. They did a counter really early, and then they kind of did countering in the middle. Bobby Roode hits a good looking blockbuster to Randy Orton at one point in time. Eventually, after the superplex, Bobby Roode gets a little bit of control. Looks like he's back there. Goes for what would be either another blockbuster or a shoulder tackle off of the top or off of the middle rope, and gets caught really good with an RKO. This was actually a pretty good sell, because like just the way that they set up the camera work, everything on that side, that, you know, Bobby Roode just jumps into it, looks like he's doing a shoulder tackle, and then Randy Orton just like cradles his head and just bam, RKO. to finish off the match and actually win the United States title. This is one of those points that I thought they weren't going to really change any of the belts. But they did. They did. They gave Randy Orton the United States Championship, and now he's officially, I guess, a full-on Grand Slam champion. Even though I think he technically had won it at one point. Maybe he had. I don't know. I don't know on that side of everything. No, he never won the European title. He never won another singles title. So it was always Intercontinental title, Tag title, and World title. They don't count either variation of the World title as separate championship, from what I can tell, in the terms of going for the Grand Slam title. So he officially becomes a Grand Slam champion with this match, and him winning the United States title. After the match, Jinder Mahal comes out. He gets in Randy Orton's face, starts beating him down, everything on that side. Eventually, Bobby Roode comes in, does the glorious DDT to Jinder Mahal. Looks like he's like, okay, I'm just helping Randy Orton, even though super frustrated. No, he let the frustration out and does the glorious DDT to Randy Orton to go along with it. More than likely setting up a triple threat match for WrestleMania for these three guys. I like the video package for this match because it was all about Bobby Roode, and it was all about Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, and about the U.S. title with the video package. And that's what they made the match about, because they didn't have Jinder Mahal come out until afterwards as well. They kind of kept it away from this whole SmackDown Top 10 list that I guess is going nowhere. We really don't know where they're going with that in any way. And honestly, I don't think many people care where they're going with that. So this, like I said, that's going to probably set up for the triple threat, though. Bobby Roode stands tall, even though losing the United States title. Lays out Jinder Mahal and lays out Randy Orton. Like, you kind of see the writing on the wall there for that type of a match coming. So this leads us into the into a tag team match. Yes, like this one again had no build to it all that much outside of the little stuff that they did on Tuesday and I guess the week before as well. So it was Becky Lynch and Naomi going up against Carmella and Natalya. Decent enough match, a little sloppy at times. Actually, a couple of the matches throughout the night were a little bit sloppy at times for everything for what it's worth on everything, but yeah, I thought it was a decent enough match. Not much of a build to this one. Like I said, they had built this through Natalya and Carmella kind of talking crap to Becky Lynch by Twitter stuff, which Becky challenged the match to Carmella, which she won the match on SmackDown. And then Natalya and Naomi bicker and a tag team match was made. Like I said, this is a decent enough match with Carmella and Natalya going over with a very good looking super kick from Carmella to Becky Lynch. I thought this was, like I said, a decent enough match. It was what it was. It did what it needed to do for the match, and yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty decent match from all four sides there. The finish came with a where the ref got distracted by Natalya, the ref was distracted by Naomi, and Natalya was going to give Carmella her briefcase to use on Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch throws her into Natalya, but eventually it winds up falling prey to the super kick in the end. Like I said, decent enough match, but nothing match in the end. So this brings us to the Usos going up against the New Day, and the story of this match was a good one. I like the story of this match, and I liked the finish of this match too. I was a little bit wary, but then it kind of it picked up. I thought it was pretty good. So you had pretty much the story of the match of the New Day and the Usos continually trying to one-up each other and pulling out things that they never have really tried doing to each other in the past, which was basically kind of them stealing each other's moves. Like, you had the setup of the Unicorn Stampede by the Usos. Kofi mimics the Rikishi running into the running into the corner spot that they would always do, even to the point that they did a super kick, big splash combo to the Usos. While the Usos did the Midnight Hours, like each of them trying to one-up each other and taking each other's moves to go along with it. Eventually, this sets up for the Usos to do a plancha, doing a double plancha to the outside of the ring. And when all 5 of them are down, this is when the Bludgeon Brothers come out. And it was like, I was thinking in my head, it's like, dang, this is a good match. Why are they doing? Ooh. And then the beatdown that they laid on not just the New Day, but the Usos to go along with it. And then the selling of Xavier Woods as well. I thought this was pretty good selling of Xavier Woods. He took a powerbomb from Luke Harper, and they landed him on the steps to go along with everything. You had Big E get taken out with a big running splash from Rowan, and they continually beat down Kofi and the Usos to go along with it. Like, just massive go with everything, even to the point that they take their hammers and kind of and they try to swing at one of the Usos with the hammers, and it misses, but then they continue the beatdown. It finishes off with that powerbomb to Xavier Woods. Everyone else kind of gets helped to the back, where Xavier gets stretchered to the back. I thought it was very effective. It was a good way of going in the sense of not having to have a winner, keeping those 2 teams for a SmackDown title match at WrestleMania, but more than likely making it, again, yes, with the U.S. title scene, a triple threat scenario where you have the Bludgeon Brothers involved with the Usos and the New Day, and what I think is going to probably be a pretty good match. I thought that it was very effective. It showed, again, the dominance of the Bludgeon Brothers on this side of everything, and yeah, I like the selling of Xavier Woods. I thought was really good as well. He sold off, being severely injured pretty well on this side. So we'll see how long they keep him off of TV, or if he just shows up on Tuesday. We'll see how that one plays out. So this is going to bring us to the SmackDown Women's title match. Ruby Riott and Charlotte Flair. Again, this is a good match. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this one. And you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed the build-up going into this as well. Once they finally explained everything, it made it enjoyable. Like, they finally explained the Riott Squad and why they're there to begin with. Wanting to destroy the myth of Charlotte. And this whole, both Ruby Riott and Charlotte doing the whole 1 down, 2 down, and however many to go, I ended out really liking as well. I thought it came off really good on TV. It was one of the few builds that I actually was liking throughout this entire thing. So I found it rather enjoyable on that side. The stuff that they were doing in the ring, I thought was pretty good as well. They had Ruby Riott do the Riott kick really early on in the match, and when they had Charlotte kick out, it was one of those things that was like, okay, that seemed a little bit off and a little bit, weird in the terms of their timing and everything. But Ruby Riott also, kind of working over and beating down Charlotte for a good chunk of the match, where and this goes off to Charlotte's selling. She sells being beaten down pretty well throughout the entire match, like making her seem like she's almost down and out, but continues going and continues fighting back, and it comes off, honestly, it comes off really good. Was it Ruby Riott did a backwards senton onto Charlotte? Looked rough to take. That one looked like it was rough to take on that side. Charlotte does do a moonsault on the outside of the ring. Eventually, you do, like early on in the match. Initially, Ruby Riott doesn't come out with the Riott Squad, but they show up. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan show up from the crowd, and they, stare down Charlotte. This does eventually bring out Becky Lynch and Naomi to even up the odds. So they get to a point late in the match where, you know, they have where Ruby Riott has Charlotte down, and they make it look like the Riot Squad, Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan, were going to get into the ring. So they kind of slide initially in the ring, which forces Becky Lynch and Naomi to go into the ring full on. They get tossed by the ref. So while this is all happening, they're beating down Charlotte a little bit more. But then the ref decides to be smart about it for whatever reason. It's like, wait a minute, you guys ran out of here. And it's like, does the ref, you're out of here. Does that whole baseball umpire, you're out of here thing. I like that. So leaving it to be Ruby Riott and Charlotte to finish off the one-on-one to finish off the match. A little bit more back and forth, leads to a spear from Charlotte, and then leads into the figure eight, and Charlotte picks up the victory. And then the story gets a little bit more fun, because Charlotte's celebrating in the ring, Ruby Riott's gone, everything on that side, and all of a sudden, Asuka shows up. Yes, Asuka shows up, comes down to the ring, confronts Charlotte, and points to the WrestleMania sign, making it seem like it's Asuka and Charlotte, kind of like what a lot of people were kind of rumoring for. I feel like this is going to be good. I'm hoping the build that they have on SmackDown is going to be good. I know this is Monday night and everything. I haven't watched Raw yet because I was at work beforehand, so I'll be watching Raw tomorrow morning. So people in the chat, no spoilers on that side of everything. But they make it seem like it's going to be Asuka and Charlotte, and I just hope the build is good, because this match should be a very good match. It should be a very enjoyable match from everything that I could see, and we'll see where everything goes with that. But you know, you're a little bit wary of where SmackDown's creative has been recently, and would they be able to put on a good feud going into a WrestleMania match with Charlotte and Asuka, and we'll see how it ends up playing out. So before we get into the main event, they did 2 video packages on the night for Raw matches, by the way. So they replayed all the stuff for the Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle versus Stephanie and Triple H. They did all of that to go along with it. Then you had them do another video package for the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match. It's like, I'm sitting there, it's like, you know, just sitting there watching, it's like, you know, you want them to take SmackDown seriously in the terms of the audience, yet you don't give them the time to shine on their own. No, you have to show off everything that's happening on Raw, too, to go along with it. And these were extensive video packages that lasted more than, I was like, oh, this was more than 30 seconds. This is like good 3, 4, 5 minutes of the show to go along with it. It was kind of annoying to a certain degree. You kind of was like, why are they showing this? It's supposed to be SmackDown only, yet I've got all this Raw stuff going on after a couple of matches. It was really weird. It was a little bit off-putting, and yeah, that's just how I ended up feeling on that one. So this leads us into the WWE title main event. So let's see if I get this right in one go here. We've got John Cena, AJ Styles, we've got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Baron Corbin. One shot, one go, one take. Boom, cut it, print it. We're good on that side. In a 6-pack challenge, it was good. It was a good match. It was very enjoyable. The narrative that they were telling in the match, I thought, came off really well done. They spaced out the spots of the match really well to make it not feel like too much was going on at once. Really the only downside was the whole Shane McMahon thing, because yeah, I guess I'm getting as tired of it as some of the other people are in the wrestling community on that side, and it looks like we're going to continue on with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon and everything on that side with what they did in this match. But otherwise, it didn't take away from what was a great main event. It was a very good match, very enjoyable. even down to everything that they were doing with John Cena. The beginning of the match with John Cena doing 4 AAs to Owen, Zayn, Baron Corbin, and Dolph Ziggler. And then AJ was like, I'm going to... I gotcha. No, not going to dash in. And then they have a one-on-one for a while. I even like afterwards where, like, they kind of stop fighting initially, where AJ's in the corner, they back off, and then the other four get in the ring, and they just all look at Cena and then beat him down. I thought was really well done. Baron Corbin and Ziggler's fighting on the outside and using what seemed to be because I know the Columbus Blue Jackets play in that arena, where they used, I don't think it was the penalty box, but they used the the bench to do a spot where Baron Corbin drives Dolph Ziggler into like the plexiglass that was there and knocks it out, everything on that side. I thought it was a really well done spot. AJ Styles getting tossed into the English announce table after Cena catches him with an AA. Really well done. Takes AJ Styles out for pretty much the rest of the match until the end, to go off of it, because you almost forget Styles is there for a brief moment, and then it's like wham, out of nowhere, to go along with it. And you know, the stuff with Zayn and Owens, I like the whole aspect that Zayn's like, it's like, see, that was SmackDown, don't worry about it, this is Fastlane, I said I would lay down on Fastlane. So he lays down, and Kevin Owens goes around, it's like he doesn't believe Sami Zayn, so instead of, you know, just going for the cover, he goes to pick him up and do like a pop-up powerbomb, and then Sami Zayn rolls him up. Then they brawl around for a little bit. This is where, you know, you have Sami Zayn bickering with Shane McMahon. It's like, oh, this is what you want. You want us two best friends to be fighting each other. Kevin Owens is going for the super kick, and then it gets dodged by Shane. Shane gets eats it in the face, which takes out Shane for a little bit. This does eventually lead to Kevin Owens hitting the pop-up powerbomb, I believe on Ziggler, and Shane McMahon pulls out the referee. So you have Owens bickering at Shane. He gets hit with a haluva kick by Sami Zayn, and then he goes for the cover, and then Shane pulls out Sami Zayn. So continuing on with that, everything on that side. But like I said, very good back and forth throughout the entire match. Just good, well-placed, timed spots, but not just timed spots in the terms of spots for the sake of doing spots, but narrative going on in the match. Just like the desperation of Cena trying to get the win to try to go on to WrestleMania as WWE champion. The factors of, AJ being taken out in the match and being out for an extensive period of time. The narrative, yes, with Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn continuing on. And Dolph and Baron kind of, worked their way pretty well into the match to go along with everything. And I thought it just came off as a very enjoyable six-pack challenge. They kept the action flowing and going, but it didn't feel like too much was going on at one time, so you could follow everything that was going on. Inside the match. I thought, it just came off really good. The ending came with Kevin Owens hitting the pop-up powerbomb to Cena, and then kind of turning around, like as he's tired and turning around, all of a sudden AJ Styles flies in with a phenomenal forearm to get the victory and the win. And they played this up really well after the match as well. It's like you have, AJ Styles elated. He's going to WrestleMania as WWE champion. We're getting the match, Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. The match, the hardcore wrestling fans match. We'll leave it at that. That is the hardcore wrestling fans match. Though the Mania card's looking really good, that would be the main match that they're looking forward to. Would be Styles and Nakamura. But also the story of the dejection of John Cena afterwards. It's like he's kind of sitting there in the corner. And I liked how they even did this little bit. It's like the camera guy gets up into John's face with the camera, and then John just like pushes it away. I thought it was good stuff. Yes, I appreciate the storyline for what it is. With John Cena, we all know John Cena is going to have some kind of WrestleMania match. We don't really buy the whole aspect that he doesn't have a road to WrestleMania at this point in time, but it is what it is. I appreciate what they're doing, and I thought it came off really well on that side of everything. It just flowed, and it went really well, at least in my mind, and on my own opinion with how they did everything. So, you know, overall, the show was really good. It just didn't have a build that was like, oh, this is like a must-see show. You got to see this. You got to see this going into it. It's like, after the fact, it's like, oh, this was, you know, it was really good. It was a really good show. Thumbs up show to me. I thought it came off really, really well done on that side of everything. The matches they cut, like I said, I don't think there was really a bad match on the show. Some matches like just kind of and ho-hum, but nothing really that bad happened on the show. And some good setup going into WrestleMania. We have Nakamura. We have the Nakamura AJ match. They're still playing this whole thing with John Cena. Is like, will he or won't he have a pay-per-view match at WrestleMania? He will. I appreciate the storyline and how Cena's been playing it off. Super dejected, everything on that side. And it came off really good on that side of everything. So, with that being said, I think that is all I've got for Fastlane of this year. So, with that being said, we're going to sign off tonight on the Fastlane pay-per-view. If you're watching this live, follow the link down in the description. We are in the final, like, 45 minutes of the Fastlane giveaway, I believe. Yeah, they played it off well with making it seem like Cena was going to win, too. We have some chat going on since this live stream, but like I said, we have a Fastlane giveaway. It's going to end, I think, in the next 45 minutes. Follow the link down in the description for a chance to win a 3-month WWE Network card. And I'll be picking a winner probably sometime tomorrow morning. On that side, and by picking a winner, I'm going to have it be a random draw on the program that I have it, and then I'll probably be sending and then be watching out for an email if you end up winning, so I can get the address and send everything that is coming your way. And if you're watching this later, unfortunately, that giveaway will be over with at that point in time. But don't worry. We're going to do more giveaways, and we're going to do different types of giveaways, and different things will be going up other than just WWE Network cards. So, with that being said, everyone, I thank everyone who watched live. I thank everyone who watched later on. It's a lot of fun doing these things, doing things like this. So, with that being said, everyone, again, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed everything. Have a great rest of your day.